Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back here to a very bloody Thursday. Today is the midweek update on the 25th of September. Rectember, a true Rectember according to its name. But I want to start off with something very interesting today. Because I see a lot of people saying the bull market is over. It's all over, guys. It's gone. Sell. I think today is actually a good day. It's honestly true. I want to show you a few things here. We got this growth line that started in July. We're now testing here in September. And also for Cronos specifically, I'm going to talk about some different charts as well in a few minutes. We're finally back here. You can see we are basically right on track here. Right on top of this line here. So we're back into the green zone, the cheap zone for CRO. The interesting thing though is what will it do now? What we have seen in the past is many touches here at about this line. You can see here it touched and it went above, back up again. Here it touched. We started having some issues and we broke below it once more. What if you can now hold? Or maybe go a bit lower. The week, of course, is not over yet. These are weekly charts. If we can hold here, I think this might be a prime buying opportunity. Of course, no financial advice. I was thinking about buying at about 20 cents earlier, but then I was looking at really the sentiment overall, and I could feel something falling even a bit lower. So from this point onward, I'm scaling more and more in. I'm going on the more risky side because I do know, guys, this is the cheap zone for CRO, at least historically seen. So many people are bearish. Like, I wish I sold. Again, nobody knows exactly where the tops are going to be. I'm going to be very honest here. I didn't expect a 50% drop. That was pretty brutal, isn't it? 53% so far. But I'm seeing a crazy opportunity popping up here, guys. Welcome. Today, it is again Rectember, a true Rectember day. And what I find interesting is that specifically we do see Bitcoin below 110 again. Bitcoin is getting back in the microphone once more. Again, I need to extend it a bit more. But the question, of course, is will the week and also the day still close above this line? Because I think that will be important going forward. And also we still have Ethereum, because Ethereum, ouch. A true ouch today for Ethereum. Welcome, guys. Strap in. So for Ethereum, we went below 4,000 again. And where did we get a bounce so far? At about this trend line here. And what I find interesting about this specific trend line, I don't know if we're gonna hold here, but I think it might be quite likely because we've seen multiple touches so far on this line. This has been our true support or resistance line. I know it might be holding as support. Again, this is just some charts here I'm looking at. No financial advice as always. But I'm seeing this as the perfect touch here, for example, for Ethereum. Can it go lower? There are still sources, or not sources, still voices for a bigger drop. We have the 21-week simple moving average. The 21-week. Or is it? The 21-week is currently for specifically Ethereum over here. Near about 3,400. So can we drop even lower? It would not be unheard of. Sometimes we go back to the 21-week. But I don't know if it's necessary. So you can see here, also near the end of the previous bull market, talking about 2021, we had one final quick wick. These are weekly candles. Back all the way to the 21-week before it started moving upwards. And when was this? This was September 20th and also the 27th of September. So the timeline, again, is pretty much perfect. So if maybe we drop a bit lower, maybe we go retest the 21-week. I don't know. Is it possible? I think it will be quite a substantial drop. We're talking about, from this point onward, not a 10%. But what is not a 10%? Specifically as a Crow fan member, you know, 10% more or less. Well, what gives? But again, I think for Cronos specifically, it's, well, if we can hold this trend line, I'm pretty bullish. Of course, guys, yeah, again, a 50% drop is not nothing. It is definitely not nothing. And I see Joseph saying, well, I bought the dip yesterday, and then the dip kept dipping. But yeah, I think still in the longer run, I think in the longer run, Joseph, if I would buy yesterday at about 20 cents, I still think it would be a decent buying opportunity, because we're talking about still the low zones really of CRO. Why would over here people have been buying CRO for 40 cents? Now they're buying for 20 cents, or selling for 20 cents. These guys have been buying the local tops, but of course we've been saying the same thing for Bitcoin also years on years. So people, I still have some friends, and they bought Bitcoin. Let me go to the Bitcoin chart quickly. They bought Bitcoin at about $65,000. They thought they bought the top, but I think if you look back, I think they would be very happy, almost doubling their initial buy. But of course, I don't want us to wait for 4 more years. That's the truth. I don't want to wait for 4 more years, but I don't think we have to wait for 4 more years, because let me bring up that Ethereum chart once more. Let me bring up the chart once more. For Ethereum, when we hit the 21 week, so you felt it, right? It was getting very bullish in August. Very similar narrative. We went to basically the previous all-time high here. You can see, right? Back then, about 4,000. We peaked again at exactly 4,000. So the narrative is very similar. Not a peak now at 4,000, but we had basically a double top. Or not exactly a double top. We did get a new all-time high, but you can see here, we had to go to a new all-time high at about 4,800. 4,800 for Ethereum specifically. Then we had a decline in September, minus 35%. And then starting really the end of September, altcoins started moving again, went up another 72%. So I want to just make it very clear, guys, that even if we drop 50%, even if we drop 60% maybe, we can go lower. I think it's definitely not unheard of, but we also will go up again. And I honestly believe, like, of course, the people that bought Ethereum here, they didn't get the exact bottom, right? They didn't get the exact bottom. But I would have been very happy if I could sell about here, or maybe here. I would be very, very happy. I think, guys, just basically, if you take a look at all the indicators, the cycle ain't over yet. So the party's still going. I'm going to scale in today. That's my personal take. I don't want you guys to follow me. Do your own research as always. But I want to say welcome. I want to say welcome because you guys are still here. I think there are many diamond hands and many people seeing this as a potential opportunity. And maybe some people are also sold. They're saying, well, I told you so, Coinbearer. I told you so. I'm just going to peak at 40 cents or 30. Those were the same people that also maybe said to me, well, it's not going to go any higher than 20 cents. And here we are, just below 20. Just below 20. Everyday new low. Until it stops the rise up. It's been quite a painful period, I'm not going to lie. In this whole month, we've only had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 green candles. 19 red candles, 6 green candles. That's pretty painful, isn't it? Coinbearer, are you going to change your exit plan after this drop? No, why wouldn't I? Why would I? Again, I don't think it would make sense to change your plan based on this move. No, not at all. Again, we haven't even been to the fair value zone for CRO yet. We haven't even been to the fair value zone. What I personally, guys, I've been here for a long time in CRO. I've been here for CRO for quite a long time. What I'm feeling here is a little bit like this. It's a bit like this. You can see here for CRO specifically, it went up to a new high. This was, by the way, an all-time high at about 28 cents. So we went up about 363%. How much did we go up in that recent pump? only 200%, so even a lot smaller. Maybe if you include the lows here, it's also about 300%, even 400%. So typically, guys, people take some profit, I guess, after a 400% run. I think that's fair. I think that's fair. But you can see that we set a higher high, and I think so far we set a cycle high, and we went down again. How much was this? How much did CRO go down again from those highs? 70%. Ouch. 70%. 70. That's pretty painful. How low would we go if we go down 70% from 40 cents? A 70% drop would be about 13? About 13 cents. I don't think that will happen. I don't think that this time around will go down 70%. But you can see, right, we set a new higher high, cycle high, and all-time high here. Went down again. And we went up again. And in the end, of course, at some point we need to start forming a bottom, right? At some point we need to say, well, this is it, right? We don't go any lower. Maybe like here, you can see we tried a few times. That's also why I do say, guys, I do hope that this time around we're going to set a bottom around this line again. So here we got a bottom about that line. This time around, I hope we create a bottom around here. So maybe a bit below it, but sometimes you do see here at this exact line a bit of resistance or support. So that's my overall take. I do still believe we're going to go up. I'm not going to change my price prediction. I don't think that makes any sense. I think fundamentally we're still going into the right direction. Q4, typically bullish. And I think also I need to check it quickly, guys. Welcome. If Bitcoin keeps going down for whatever reason, expect 75% or more. That's the question though, because what we have seen for Bitcoin specifically is no peak indicator yet. But yeah, if Bitcoin has peaked, and I think the chance is quite low. If Bitcoin has peaked, we will go down lower. We will go down lower. That's right. But after all what happened, liquidation or fat news? What do you mean, Samurai? What do you mean here? The fat news was a bit more hawkish than expected. So instead of saying, yeah, we do expect a lot more what's it called, interest rates cuts. They were saying, well, we're gonna wait and see meeting by meeting. But yeah, in general, guys, I'm not feeling all too bearish. Like honestly, it's part of the cycle. And we haven't even completed the full cycle yet based on the previous cycle. So if I bring up quickly, I love this chart. We're getting near to the end, right? We're getting near to the end. So we're getting into the typical bear market, the typical bull market end, but we still have some time to go. Christian is asking what news? The USA, Russia news? Was there any news regarding Russia? I don't think any news, right? Only that they kind of want Ukraine to keep fighting. They can win, they say. Hey, welcome, Deputy. Welcome. So how much farther can we dip? Well, we have a few different takes. It can be this, right? It can be that we stop at exactly this line here. So far, we've seen a decent bounce for CRO. Everything keeps dropping, but CRO is kind of stuck here at about this level. It's kind of stuck at about this level. That's interesting to see. Other than that, we still have the 100-day at about 16 cents. So that might also be an interesting target. But I think for now, we're going to take it day by day as well. And I think this might be good. For me, this is personally an opportunity to scale in. Also because we have seen the rainbow chart. Where we are in the rainbow chart now. The CRO printer is killing us. Do you have any evidence for that, Psycho? Because I haven't been looking really at the mint. The daily or the monthly mints. And so far, not much selling pressure from the treasury. Christian, there was some news earlier today about the about Russia. Okay, I completely missed it. What is interesting though, if you take a look at the stock market, like the stock market, it's down. It's down a little bit, but it's not like a big shock wave. Today it's more like altcoins are going down. If you take a look, let me quickly bring up, guys, the CoinMarketCap. It's like CRO is not anything special today. Not anything special. Hey AV, welcome. Good to see you, Bjorn. Good to see you also, Mr. Pete, again in the chat. I gotta hand it to you, Pete. You were right with the dip. I didn't expect, guys, a 50% dip because, well, I didn't learn from previous cycles. But I learned at least enough to know that typically we'll still have more room to grow after September or near the end of September. Maybe this is it, guys. So specifically what we do see here for basically every token, basically all the tokens now are having a bit of a jump. 1% for ETH, 2% for Doge. So far, guys, quite a good bounce. But it's only the hourly, so I don't think it is really significant. Then we have the 24-hour. Everything is down. 6% for Ethereum. Ouch. 7% for Solana. 7% for Doge. 7 for Hype. 14 for Avalanche. Pow. Then we have one exchange token holding strong today. Unus, you're doing well. How about my favorite exchange token? Minus 8%. So I think it's a bit more than the average token, but well. I think if you take a look though at the year to date, are we still up? Are we still up? Can we see that somewhere? Year to date? No, I think we can only see the yearly. We're still higher than a year back, so that's still good. That's still good. On the topic of price, my TA Spidey senses, which have been wrong before, so they don't take it as any financial advice. But my TA suspects we see the price come back to test the 28th of August gold candle at 15 cents. I think we have discussed this earlier, and I think 15 cents is an interesting target because 15 cents specifically is where Trump started buying in, right? So 15 cents, this is about here. The Trump group, the Trump strategy group, or they know, no, Trump Media. Trump Media bought at exactly 15.3 cents. 15.3 cents. Oh, okay, so year to date, you can see it somewhere. Ah, okay, so Barry's is right, you can see about 117% on the year. Not bad. The month though, minus 10%. Ouch. Ouch. Welcome, Ella. Would you trade Bitcoin for CRO? I already did that. I think it's getting a better deal every day now. But yeah, it's, again, no financial advice. My average buy is about 8.5 cents. If I look at this dip, I don't think it, but I don't know if it's worth making my average higher. Any thoughts? Well, I don't think you have to really take a look at averages, Kai. I think if you really believe that CRO is going higher, why wouldn't you buy more? Like every dollar, let's say, again, let's say it goes back to at least 40 cents, right? I think that's quite a, I think that would be the very bearish case. You would double all the euros you put into CRO. So that's why what I'm going to do, guys. I do see potential bounce here. Again, we can drop lower. I'm mainly waiting for... So Bitcoin is the interesting thing, right? I think if Bitcoin closes the month in the green, we see a green September for Bitcoin. Pretty bullish. But yeah, let's see. Also, I need to see two things. I need to see CRO bounce, but also Ethereum bounce here over this exact trend line. After a drop like this, I'm so scared to buy any CRO. What's the saying again, Teddy? Buy when... No, be greedy when others are fearful, and be fearful when others are greedy. And I think it's playing out perfectly again. I think we got many greedy people here. You got many greedy people here. It's really unfortunate though, because I do believe that like if we had more strength, also continued strength by Bitcoin and by Ethereum, maybe CRO could have sustained it, but well, it's not the case, is it? The thing is, everybody is busy complaining at how low we are from the recent 40 cents high, but if a price pump is mostly based on hype, then inevitably falls back to where it started. True that. True that. That's why I think why 17 cents is quite like if we drop lower about like the previous high here at about 17 cents, that was before the Trump buy, I do believe. Maybe we got some insiders buying, I don't know. But we had some genuine good momentum back then. Buying the red, selling the green. I think Marcel, that's even the better saying there. Hi Coin Baron, I saw stable coins getting some $1 billion of injection. That sounds bullish. If we're minting more Tether, if we're minting more USDC, I think it would be very, very bullish. I do believe that stable coins with the Genius Act will get a lot more, how do you say that, legitimacy. So I do believe it's going to be a potential game changer for the market, like long term. Blaze, good to see you, sir. Think of trading my Bitcoin for CRO here. Any thoughts, Coin Baron? What I can do, let me bring up the Bitcoin chart quickly. I do think it's interesting, guys, to see that all altcoins are losing bit today against Bitcoin. And for the first time, we do see now also a bit of a jump here for Bitcoin dominance. But I don't know if it will sustain. That's the big question, of course. Teddy's saying, I think this drop was a bit too much. I think it was a quite substantial drop. Don't get me wrong, Teddy. But yeah, we have seen worse. We have seen worse in the past. Like again, this was also brutal. I think this was absolutely brutal. Minus 70%. Minus 70% here. That's crazy if you think about it. Yeah, we're gonna check, guys, Bitcoin CRO. Oh, before we're gonna do that, guys, I wanna quickly go to some fundamentals because I haven't posted this yet on YouTube. I'm gonna make a video about it tomorrow. But have you guys already seen the AMA announcement? On the 9th of October, only 9th of October, we're gonna have an AMA, an open AMA, me and WolfSwap with Mirko, the head of Cronos, and also Emily Sitt, she's the Cronos business developer. So think about questions, guys. I think it's going to be honestly very exciting. Open discussion with the builders, and especially now, I don't know if you guys have seen the video yet, but check it out if you haven't. $100 million ecosystem fund, and so far they spent about 5 million, so that means they still have about 95 left. I don't know, of course, the exact finance, but about $95 million left for additional investments in the ecosystem. And basically what we have seen so far, if only 5 million has been invested so far into the builder ecosystem, I think the previous leadership, talking about Ken, of course, has been really conservative. What I see though from the new Chris and also the new Ken, the new Mirko, is that they want to spend to become the top 5. So I do believe that going forward, instead of being very nitty gritty on where we're going to spend money on, I think they're going to try more and more of those micro grants and also bigger grants for bigger projects. So I think fundamentally there are some very good things happening. I'm not only talking about the Cronos trend, I'm also talking about the treasury company. Still, guys, I see movement regarding the treasury company. The York company also bought a different company. I don't know exactly what happened there, but York bought a different company. We can see already the registries on the 18th of September. I do think we might see another crazy announcement soon. I don't know. So the details are still quite vague, so that's why I don't make a video about it. But things are happening, guys, behind the scenes, and also the ETF. Also the ETF. Yeah. Good reminder here by Pete, guys. Don't forget to hit that like button. But AMA happening 9th of October. Be there or be square. Think about questions. Very importante. MCJ is the only thing I'm buying. Make Cronos great again. The company. Crazy. We have a company on the Nasdaq called Make Cronos Great Again. Ay. Yeah, this was quite sad to see. We had another rejection here of the total free. We were so close. We were so close of breaking out here, but again, not yet, guys. Not yet. We might need another attempt here of breaking the total free. We're going to talk about Lion in a sec, Bjorn. Let's start though first with Bitcoin CRO. What about Bitcoin CRO? CRO Bitcoin, here we go. So CRO Bitcoin completed the W pattern here. So I drew this line I think last week. So you can see here it dropped below the previous high. And now we're getting right back on track here with this line. Let me quickly make it a different color as well. Color, please. Again, based on the we have had two lows here. Two lows for CRO Bitcoin. This might be a third test really of this exact line. So let's see. It's not a given because we have set lower lows in the past. You can see we went quite a bit lower for CRO Bitcoin. Well, yeah, I think if you take this into consideration, it has been a previous low. It is potential support. It's an interesting line at least to take a look at. So far we bounced exactly there. Anyway, CoinBaron, what are your thoughts about the performance of Lion? I think about changing some Lion for CRO. I think Lion CRO has been really badly performing. Like we have seen CRO moving to the moon. And what did Lion do? I don't think that Lion even set a new all-time high. I need to check it though. Lion. Oh, by the way, the DXY is also going up again. Interesting fact. So that also might be one of the reasons why Bitcoin is going up. Why Bitcoin is going down, I mean. DXY going up is bad for Bitcoin. DXY going down is typically good for Bitcoin. Well, let me bring up the Lion US dollar. Okay, it does seem here that we did set a new all-time high on the 30th of August. But it was really short-lived, so I don't know. It's going to be quite an interesting time. I do feel that Lion needs to hold this line here, about here. So if it drops further, I would need to see a bit of a reversal. If though, this could be the perfect setup for a nice W. And even now, we could get a nice W pattern as well. So sometimes, guys, we can see that's not an exact straight line. Sometimes we get a bit of a cricket line here, like this. So this might become a decent W, but again, it's hard to say. I don't know. I think the performance of Lion has been slacking behind, but what you have seen now, I have to bring up Twitter for this. But the Lion team is going crazy with marketing recently. You're now in Korea. Guys. Let me quickly check, guys. Welcome again. Don't forget to hit the like button. And guys, if you are strapping in for CRO, don't forget to also press the like, but also subscribe, of course, for more. What is happening so far? We do have also CRO still. Again, it's still holding on nicely at about 18.45. Nothing too bad. I think I missed a few questions, guys, in the beginning, so feel free to ask it again. I do have some time today, so don't be afraid to ask me again. You guys are asking way too much in the beginning, always. Andre is saying, I'm confident that CRO will achieve about 50 cents this year. I think it's quite a likely target, sir. I think it's quite a likely target. See, the Karma is saying, taking this dip to scoop up a lower average on my Cronos DeFi contract. I love having a lower or neutral cost average. Then the APY feels much better, helps open other positions or passive profits as well. That's true. I haven't even thought about the passive income side. So I think if Kai, if you're still here thinking about passive things, I think it makes sense. You want to keep your initial quite low. It's Samurai's first bull run. Well, how do you like it so far, Samurai? How do you like it so far? This, like the last time, right? I think this is, you know, Crew has brutal moments again and again. But I kind of think like what we have had here. I think what we have had here, this was, guys, the announcement for the burn, 70 billion burn. That helped the price increase. Also about 300%, right? Unfortunately, though, afterwards we started going down. So also a lot of hype here. But I think it's somewhat similar to what we are seeing now. So what we see now is also the hype of Trump, the Trump hype. And we're going down again. So I think those two events might be quite similar. Garage is saying, damn right, long term, you're golden with Crow. So now we see a nice drop. If you want it cheap, it might get it now. Might go lower or it may not. Doesn't matter though. It might be a good buy price. I think so too, sir. I do think so too. It was honestly though quite scary to see. I think today we did see Bitcoin drop from like 112 all the way below 19 or below. Did we go below 19? Yeah, very shortly today. Like very shortly. You can see we dropped to 108.8. 108.8. Jeez Louise. That's quite scary, isn't it? Honestly, quite scary. So far, though, I think we're still... Yeah, let me check this, guys. I think so far for Bitcoin specifically, I need to bring up the historic charts for Bitcoin. I think historically, Bitcoin is still up. Historical returns for Bitcoin. There we go. Yeah, so far, for the month of September, Bitcoin is still up 1.27%. 1.27%. Not much. Typically, we see bigger increases in September if we go up. Oh, well, I wouldn't say no to this. I think a green September could be a great forecast for what's about to come in October, November, and also potentially December. But typically in a bull market, guys, December is not that great. Or like, at least not always. Not always. For example, 2021, minus 18%. What else do we have? I think 2015. Was 2015 a bull year? No, 2017 was one. Yeah, okay. 2013 was also quite a bull year. Up 500% basically. Oh, you can't see that. Up about 500% in November. That's quite crazy for Bitcoin. But yeah, then you see minus 30% already in December. So typically I hope to see the biggest gains in November and October. And specifically for altcoins, I think that November could be absolutely huge again. It could be absolutely huge, of course, no guarantees there. What about Ethereum? Also for Ethereum, Q3 so far has been quite bullish, plus 58% in Q3. Q3 is going to end, by the way, in only 6 days. So even if it dropped another 10%, still this would be a very good performance here by Ethereum. I think, yeah, this would be the best Q3 ever for Ethereum. After that, we have plus 31% in 2021. I think my chat is broken, but I don't dare to ask if you guys could send me a test message. Test. 212, please. Yeah, okay, it's definitely broken. Yeah, it's definitely broken. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Sorry, guys, for all the questions. Okay, well, let me go back to the questions, guys. Testing 212, testing 212. I sometimes have to bring back up the browser because you guys chat too much, therefore the browser breaks. Let's see. Hey, Jimmy, good to see you, man. Great music as always. 80s synthwave. It's always the same playlist. I hope you don't mind. It's a 2-hour mix. God's Promise. Are the loaded lion NFTs that? Any thoughts? Well, to be honest, the NFTs, the loaded lion NFTs, they held on to their floor price for a very long time. I think they very shortly went below 1,000. A prime buying opportunity for the loaded lions, but they don't really seem to go up much. So they don't go down much, but also they don't go up much. Are they that? I think they are basically in line with the rest of the NFT market, except maybe for the pudgy penguins. So the pudgy penguins are a bit of an anomaly, I would say personally. But the loaded lions aren't really like doing anything special now. And I think it's also one of the reasons why the lion token is not doing necessarily very great, because you might have a lion token, but if the underlying lion NFT isn't performing great, well, not really the best fundamentals for the lion token to perform well. The pudgy penguins were performing well, and then they released the token. Maybe a bit of a different game plan for the pengu token instead of the lion token. Do you think the stablecoin announcement will have a positive effect for CRO? I do believe so. I do definitely believe so. They should have launched it though, and they should launch it in 5 more days. Let me bring up guys quickly the roadmap for crypto.com. Crypto.com roadmap. There we go. Yeah, the stablecoin is planned here for Q3, so Q3 is about to end soon, guys. So the big question, of course, always is it priced in yet? Is it truly priced in? Yes, it's on the roadmap. But what you saw though with the ETF submission, it was already planned. But when we had the actual news, it still caused a bit of a pump in the immediate short term, at least for CRO. So I don't think it's truly priced in yet. And I think also long term, this will be quite a big thing really for the Cronos chain, and therefore also fundamentally for the CRO token. the first bull market for Samurai Arcade is like a lot of sleepless nights. May I ask, Samurai, what are you playing with money you can miss, or is it like a substantial amount? I think when I started, so this is a bit of a story time, guys. When I started with crypto back in 2017, it was truly some play money. Then in 2020, I went in, I think 2019, I started mining with my GPU quite heavily. And also, I think I bought in with about two months of wage. So yeah, well, that was actually getting quite substantial. Now we're talking about different numbers. So I'm scaling in every cycle a bit more, because I'll also keep learning more. I think I also recommend that, like, we have, if you start out, guys, keep it maybe relatively small. Don't bet the house, don't bet the farm on your first cycle. In the second cycle though, you might think it's a bit different because you know so much more. And then you learn in the second cycle, you still don't know everything. So now we're here in the third cycle and I still know not everything. Oh, ouch. Do you see Bitcoin dropping again? And also Cronos is dropping again back to this line. Cronos now at about 18.3. Ouch, ouch, ouch. Samurai saying crypto.com is waiting for October for some more stablecoin news. And also the ETF unburning. That might be the case because if you quickly go back to the roadmap, to be very honest, sometimes they have something planned for Q2 and they do it like 5 days after Q2 ends. I think one of those might be... I think the stock... I'm not entirely sure. I think the... I think it was the credit cards. The credit cards were planned for Q1 and they released it, I think, a few days into Q2. So if they were strategic, maybe they wait a bit. Maybe they wait a bit. Jay's asking, is the bull run over? I think no. But again, I don't give any financial advice. If we take a look at some indicators though, Jay, I think it's very unlikely that the Bitcoin bull run is over. And I want to show you one, just to give you a quick indicator why I think it's not over yet. This is the relative strength index on the monthly. You can see here, right? Let me remove this picture. You can see here that we have been above this line now. But typically a bull market brings us up like this high at least. We haven't been truly oversold yet on the monthly RSI. That's why I do not think that the bull run is over. As long as Bitcoin has potential to go up, the altcoin bull run is also not yet over. That's my personal take on this. What might happen, guys, and this might be like the scariest outcome of all, is that Bitcoin drops below 100,000. And why would Bitcoin drop below 100,000? Well, because on that time frame we still have the let me bring it up. I think the weekly. Basically a year-long average. We have the 50-week. Do you see where the 50-week is? And so far, also in this bull cycle, we have seen many drops to at about the 50-week. Here, 50-week. Here, 50-week. So one final drop to about 99,000, just below 100. And Bitcoin would test the 50-week once more. You can see, right? It happens a lot. Also this bull cycle. We've seen it happen also here. Twice in the previous bull cycle. Touched it here. And here, the second time around, we didn't truly touch it. It just went just above it. So sometimes we get close, but not right there. So maybe if we go to 100,000, it's like close enough for many investors. And they might be starting buying at about 100,000. Peter saying only 5 days left to see the end of the month. We might see it hover around here, or maybe a drop to 105 at the beginning of October. Hopefully we then get reason to pump afterwards. I think again, the fundamentals are truly good for CRO. Also for altcoins in general, guys. We just had the basically approval for multiple ETFs, not only CRO, also Avalanche, also HBAR, a lot of different altcoins, and that might also help here Bitcoin dominance tumble truly. The Coinbase music remembers me when I fly with Ryanair. Do they have music? If I were Ryanair, I would definitely not spend any money on music. Also funny, typically if you go on an airplane, you've got those TVs, right? And the TVs show you the safety instructions. But on Ryanair, no. No money for TVs. No money for Windows. Are you an 80s kid, Jimmy? Giovanni, welcome. G Mankind. The Pengu token and also the Pudgy Penguins have crazy merchandise. That's true. If you go, guys, and honestly, on my girlfriend, the Coin Baroness, I don't know if you're watching, but yeah, you're not really into crypto. But the thing about the Pudgy Penguins is they are super relatable, very cute. They have a big Instagram page and a lot of not really crypto natives. They love the pudgy penguins, and that's what we need. Like, if you want to make the Load Alliance great again, they need to be cuddly. They need to become mainstream, or not necessarily cuddly. They need to become mainstream. Like, also non-native crypto people need to love the pudgy penguins, and then you might have a good project. Hey, welcome, Darren. What happened to Crow? Volatility happened, sir. Today, a lot of altcoins are down. Prices dropping because we talk of war. I completely missed this. I've been out of town one day and you guys are talking about war. What's the latest news? What's the latest news there? What about war? Oh, okay, this. I haven't even seen this yet. Oh, whoa. Okay. I didn't notice, but it's really strange though, because the stock market isn't really responding yet. We got Alex Jones here saying, breaking World War III update. Guys, we're not there yet. It's not yet World War III. Didn't notice. So Russia's foreign minister Lavrov declares NATO and EU are now at war with Moscow. Blah blah blah. Interesting. As long as we're still talking and not fighting, it's still fine. Interesting though that he says we're having a meeting with hundreds of generals and admirals. And guys, I have to say, this is just Twitter. So sometime, I think this is an article from the Washington Post, so that's somewhat reliable. And I think this tweet here also makes sense. Hey Marty, good to see you, sir. Good to see you, sir. Okay, the S&P is dropping a bit more, but it went lower today. Like, it had a very scary drop of only 2%. Yeah, no, not even 2%. Even a bit less, like minus 0.7. Nothing scary today, guys, for the S&P. For those who are asking about the price drop, the 28th of August price bump was mostly based on hype, and so we are seeing it come back to test where it took off from. I agree there, so. Unfortunately, what is interesting is that we didn't really create any form of resistance or support. So I think the true support can be found about here, maybe, where we are creating this upward trend. So this guy is really interesting to see. Can we hold on to about this line here? Can we hold on to the green band zone here? You can see we just dropped a bit below it now. Having said that, at this exact moment, Crow is dropping quite substantially. We have been hovering at about 1850 and now it's 1827. Let me bring up quickly the hour. Oh, let's go to the 5-minute chart. Yeah, on the 5-minute chart, you can see it's been quite an interesting stream. I start the stream and we go up, and we continue the stream and we go down. Kai is saying, well, salary hits tonight, going up to load some more Crow. Nice, sir. How low can you see Crow going? Well, this can be it, sir. This can be it, but we can also drop lower. We have seen bigger drops in the past, but also smaller drops. So I think 50% though, about 50% drop is enough. But however, like worst case, we talked about this, right? Bitcoin might go back to 100,000. What if we drop 10%? Bitcoin. Where can CRO go? I don't know. I don't know. It might go back to 50 cents. Oh, Larry is a massive cheapskate talking about Ryanair. I promised myself that I would never ever fly with Ryanair again when I split with my ex. A long story. When we go on that boat trip, I want to hear the story. Often I see many complaints about the leg room in Ryanair, but I'm not that tall. I'm actually quite happy with the leg room in Ryanair. I've had worse. I just think we are only forming now a new major high low where we can see the price pump from. It might stop at about 105 for Bitcoin, maybe lower to about 100,000. That can happen, guys. That's definitely one of these scenarios. But Crypto Runner here is diamond handing as well. Teddy's saying that NATO declares war on Russia. I haven't. That's actually quite funny. I haven't seen, like, if you go back in history, guys, you've seen a lot of official declarations of war. I haven't seen any official declaration of war ever. Like, typically they say, well, now we're at war. And I haven't seen that in a long time. Now they just start bombing. I think maybe also to keep that surprise element. Well, 1991, the true 90s kid, but growing up with some 80s music. I need to check, guys, because I think the stream is over. Oh, wait a minute. Shit. This is not good. This is actually... I need to go to different music quickly because I don't think this is copyright free. Sorry. Sorry there. I hope the music was good. Probably I'm going to get copy strike for that music there. Is Alex Jones moonlighting as a former leader of Germany? I might have missed that quickly down X. I might have missed that. Let me bring up X again. Oh, wait a minute, you're right. I didn't even notice. Yeah, the mustache is interesting. Interesting choice. Interesting choice. Guys, the world is on fire, but you know what we care about here is mainly the prices, right? The prices, the crypto prices. CRO at 1822. I'm again, guys, we talked about this in the beginning a bit. So my personal strategy is to buy about these levels here. Yeah, I will probably post it in a few minutes also on X because I think where we're getting now is a good place to load up. Personally, again, there's no financial advice. We can definitely drop lower. Well, let's say we drop to about 15 cents. I still think that 18 cents is not too bad at all. So that's why I'm personally buying here. Again, don't follow me. You can call me crazy if we drop lower. I think that's a fair call in that case, but still, I think where we are now, given the fact that we have been at 40 cents and now we're at 18 cents, the potential is crazy, right? I think the long-term potential is crazy. Maybe Haxit has a Bitcoin mining app on his phone and he wants them to join his with his referral link. Talking about referral links, guys, if you're not yet using Crypto.com's Visa card, link is in the description down below. Actually, I'm quite surprised. The bonuses this year are quite decent if you're new to Crypto.com. So not bad at all. Hoping it goes back to 6 cents. That would be below my rainbow chart. So 6 cents would be here. I think that's quite unlikely. This is my second cycle with CRO. I dunked on CRO so far this year. Profits, baby. Well done, sir. Well done. We're just saying we don't go to 15 cents to 6 cents because Trump bought about 15 cents. I think we will have a nice buy wall at 15 cents if we go that low. If we go that low, guys, I think there will be a big buy wall at about 15.3 cents. Not saying that, by the way, that the treasury, the Trump crypto treasury cannot go down. Of course, it can always go lower. Nothing is stopping it per se. But well, Giovanni is saying at 50 cents, I will buy more to increase my CRO bag. If there's anything about CRO that I really hate, is the low volume. The thing about that, Israel, is that you will love it when we go up. Like, you know, the thing is, when we start buying again, like the volume here goes crazy. That's also why it's so easy to move up. That's also why it's somewhat easy to go down. But it's a double-edged sword, right? A double-edged sword. Low volume is typically low liquidity. I always fly with Ryanair. Small space, but the service is not that bad. I've only, like, the recent years, guys, that you are traveling. Previously, if you booked a flight, I think you could, like, get a suitcase and you could bring a trolley and you could bring a bag. Like, no worries, all included. And these days, you can, if you got lucky, you can fly with a small backpack, and then you got to pay for any trolley, and you got to pay 6 times the flight price for a suitcase. So I don't like that. Well, it's to keep flights somewhat reasonably priced, I guess. Ouch. There we go, guys. We are now below 1820. We're right at about this line. We haven't set a lower low yet, but it's interesting. I hope to see a bounce about here. I hope to see a bounce about here. Jimalo is saying, I will personally buy more at about 15 cents. At about 15, I will unload some serious money. Interesting. In terms of ages, if Stranger Things was real, then I would be the same age as those kids. Will. Talking about Stranger Things, like the new season is coming out, I think, beginning of next year, or maybe end of this year. I'm not entirely sure. If you guys like this, it's I think it's a Netflix exclusive. So the good thing, guys, if you have an IC White or an Obsidian, and also with the lower cards, I think starting at Jade, you get Netflix discount. So for me, I'm watching Stranger Things and I'm getting CRO. I would say that's a win-win. That's a win-win. CRO with Knife is down more than 90% of the coins on Cronos. I haven't really seen what CRO with Knife does. I am not really involved with the whole memes, the meme scene. Oh, if VVS is down less than CRO, interesting. I would say those two have a big correlation. For CRO specifically, I see a lot of corrections typically, but you know, 50% in a short amount of time only happens in tokens like CRO. Yeah, because CRO honestly has a lot of hype based on fundamental things that typically happen, but take time to come to fruition, right? Is CRO a scam or is it good? Well, you tell me, Cyber. You tell me, sir. Well, I can say that it isn't a scam, right? Because it's been around since 2018, so they haven't rock pulled us. Not in the traditional sense, but I get why. If you go down 50%, it might feel like a rug pull, but no, it's definitely not a scam, sir. Definitely not a scam. Ooh, I wish there was a new Game of Thrones series. I think there is one. There is a spin-off. Going back in time. I like it, but I don't know if they're making new seasons. Ooh, really? I bought with my money at about 2060. I think in the longer run, really, personal thoughts here is, but that it doesn't really matter. So you might buy 2 cents higher than where we are now. It's not all about, but yeah, I get it. Staggered approach is can help quite well. Are we back in the green zone? Maxime is asking. Yes, we are. We are now officially again in the green. That's also why I'm thinking about buying, guys. That's why I'm not thinking. I'm going to buy when the stream ends. So the stream is ending, guys, in a few minutes. So don't forget to hit that like button and also subscribe. Yeah, it's this is the buying zone, guys. So Big Rob, so you have been predicting 18 cents. Okay, sure, but you've also been predicting it won't go above 20 cents. So who's really wrong here? I don't know, sir. I don't know honestly why you keep coming in here saying I know everything, but you don't know anything like we do. Like we all don't know anything. That's the only thing we know for sure. It wasn't you, that's for sure. the only thing that knows everything, guys. I have to go back really on the stream because I think we asked the question to the A-ball, and I think the A-ball was saying, will it continue? And I think the A-ball said no. I might need to find a clip because I need to listen more to the A-ball. I need to listen more to the A-ball. Bjorn, looking at a couple of weeks in the future, the bull run is over. What are your plans for the stream? Still Sunday and Thursday? Mainly CRO? Or will it change one day to shit coins and we're making fun of them? I think we'll be making fun of about everyone, every coin. I don't know, Bjorn. I honestly don't know. I have some plans to start up a different business, so not really crypto related. I like the streams, I like the company, so maybe we can do book readings or what do you guys think about the book review club? We can do book reviews here. We can read the same book and then every Sunday we talk about it. We can start with the Bitcoin standard to keep it somewhat, you know, in the same scene. Let me know. What would you like to talk about, Bjorn? What about the fractal? Actually, it's not that bad. Good question, Maxime. Good question. We can bring it up quickly here. So, specifically for the fractal, I've been talking about this, I think, previous stream. Here we go. Like, it's now below it. It's now below it. That's for sure. Let me fit it. But it's also somewhat in line with the expectation of a dip here. So if we complete it, it will go down to about 17.5. But again, there's no exact science. I mean, it's somewhat, it fits somewhat okay, but it's definitely not perfect, right? But you can see it's right in line with the expectation, give or take. That's also why I'm buying at about here. Again, if it drops further, I will take the L. Because I do believe it once again will make that U-turn. And we'll see a continuation to the upside. EasyJet. I think EasyJet is quite okay. Good prices. How is this song? The whole TikTok rage now about the travel agency. I forgot it. I don't want to hear it again. I do agree with this, Big Rob. CRO has a predictable pattern. And it will go up again. Juju Jet. What the hell is Juju Jet? Coin Baron, how to plan an exit plan in discovery mode? I would say Samurai. Check the video about the exit strategy. Do that, sir. I would say yes, start reading Sif Aldin Amos. I don't know the book. With CRO, it's always one major pump and then goes all the way down. Well, one thing though regarding that is that we keep building a bit higher base. So every time we go up, you can see, right, this is how do you say that? These are linear lines, so we keep creating higher bases. Of course, we pump and dump. I do agree there. But we do set higher highs every time. Same thing here. Higher highs every time. And also here, higher high. As long as we keep creating higher highs, I'm all very happy about this. The book club sounds interesting. Let's see. You cannot predict anything. You can make definitely educated guesses. Like, we can, for example, find resistance and support lines based... Like, the thing about TA, guys, TA is basically human emotion. Trying to read human emotion. And human emotion is pretty much predictable. Oh, the Bitcoin Standard is a book by... That's the writer. That's the writer. Okay, good to know. Oh, you're right. Israel saying it's an educated guess. True that. True that, sir. True that. Guys, I need to head out. The coin baron is waiting for me, so... I think it's quite an interesting stream today. We have been dipping quite a bit. We've been coping quite a bit, but I think we're still alive. We're still holding on. I'm going to buy a warning out in a few minutes, guys, so bear with me. I will be back Sunday. Tomorrow, new video, so don't forget to hit the like button, also subscribe. That definitely helps also the CRO price. So the more you hit it, the higher it will go. That's at least according to the social risk metrics. So interesting take. Sunday we'll use the A-ball again. Let's see if we are heading up again or if we're going lower. I think, let's ask the A-ball. A-ball, are we... I'm going to ask the A-ball. CRO is going to be higher next Sunday than where we are now. CRO is going to be higher than where we are now. Yes. Yes. I don't know if you can read it, but yes. No? Okay, A-ball saying yes, guys. Yes, okay. Hey, thank you so much, guys. Thank you, Flying. Thank you, Dom Dom. Welcome. Pete, Teddy, Haven, Bjorn. Thank you so much for strapping in today, guys. I will see you Sunday and also tomorrow some more videos. So, see you then. You gotta believe me, Pete. You gotta believe me. On my words.